the 18th century, Russia. Life here was harsh, cold, and often unforgiving. In an agrarian society, the human destiny was confined to the narrow path between birth and death. Yet, there was one woman who lived in a simple village in the Kostroma region. Her name was Valentina Vasilyeva. Her story pushed the boundaries of human possibility, fundamentally changing the concept of motherhood. Her narrative is a drama of endless exhaustion and immortal love, hidden behind the numbers in the record books. Some called her a miracle, others considered her cursed. But Valentina, the woman who bore the most children in the world, could accept her unbelievable destiny as neither a curse nor a miracle. She was simply a mother who could not stop giving birth. When Valentina first married Fyodor Vasilyev, she was barely 17 years old. She was a bright, smiling young bride, hungry for life. Fyodor was a hard worker, a simple peasant, but one with grand dreams in his heart. Their love burned like a fire in the cold Russian village. They dreamt of a large family, but Valentina's body began executing their dreams not just as an aspiration, but as a grand mandate from nature. The year 1725. Valentina became a mother for the first time. The labor pains were long and arduous. The village midwife heard the cry of a baby, then another cry. Twins. In that era, this was a rare and joyful event. Fyodor shouted with joy, his voice carrying across the entire village. After this first birth, Valentina did not even have time to recover her youth or beauty before she was pregnant again. She had hoped for a respite. She wanted to be a wife to her husband, a friend to her peers. But the laws of nature did not yield to her wishes. The outcome of the second pregnancy astonished not only Fyodor, but the entire village. This time, Valentina brought triplets into the world, all healthy, tiny, and hungry. Valentina was no longer a young bride. Her face had grown deeply etched over just a few years, and her eyes were red and heavy with the strain of sleepless nights. At barely 20 years old, she was already the mother of 5 children. The village gossip began. This is unnatural. Is she the daughter of a witch? Why would God give them so many children? People struggled to find the distinction between a miracle and a curse. Fyodor tried to shield her from the village pressure, but Valentina only focused on the cries of her nursing babies, trying to drown out the noise of the outside world. The following years, Valentina's life became a grueling, repetitive process. Pregnancy, labor, nursing, and pregnancy again. Her body never had the chance to fully recover. If motherhood was only a part of life for an ordinary woman, for Valentina, motherhood was her entire existence. Her sole purpose for living was to bring new life into the world. Her third delivery brought quadruplets. Yes, 4 babies at once. This is rare even with modern medicine, and it was unprecedented for an 18th century village. This time, Valentina felt her will to live slipping away. She had to nurse 4 individuals, which meant she had to give everything and keep nothing for herself. By this time, her name had already spread throughout the province. Her birthing schedule had an almost mathematical precision. 1 major delivery every 1 to 2 years. Her motherhood statistics were staggering: 16 sets of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets. 27 pregnancies. By the time she reached around 40 years old, Valentina had given birth to 69 children. This number is not only hard to hear, but also impossible to imagine. Her face was no longer that of a young woman, but resembled a statue hardened by thousands of nights of wakefulness and thousands of pains. Her children grew up and helped care for each other. The older girls assisted their mother in nursing and swaddling their countless younger siblings. The house was in constant noise and motion. It was a chaotic, disorganized, yet endlessly loving atmosphere. Valentina could no longer remember herself as a woman. Her passion for her husband Fyodor, her own personal dreams, all were submerged under the care of 69 souls. Her life was reduced to a function: survive and keep them alive. One night, in the dead of the night, she stood over Fyodor and whispered, looking at his face, "Fyodor, I am no longer living. I am only a mother. I am no longer your wife. I am no longer myself. I am merely a mother's womb, the door through which they must be born." These words terrified Fyodor. He fought for Valentina. He tried to give her rest, but her body would not obey him. This was an unstoppable destiny. The greatest miracle was that of the 69 children. Only 2 died in infancy. Given the high mortality rate of the era, this felt like a divine shield. But this protection was paid for by the strength drained from Valentina's body. Every breath she took was a sacrifice for her children. Fyodor Vasiliev knew the extraordinary fate of his family. He reported this unbelievable event to the government, first in a larger town, and then to St. Petersburg and the Tsarist court. Although he was a simple peasant, this event could not be ignored. Finally, in 1782, official documents regarding this family were sent to the Nikolsky monastery in Moscow. The situation was recorded there. Valentina Vasilieva was officially proclaimed the most prolific mother in the world. Her name was etched into the record books. But how did this official recognition affect her life? It brought her no wealth, no glory, and no relief. She continued to live in her peasant hut, surrounded by her children and grandchildren. While the outside world called her a miracle, endless exhaustion and loneliness reigned within her. Her hut was no longer just a house, but a living space, a school, a church, and a nursery. Her 67 living children grew up, all superficially similar, but with unique personalities in their hearts. In her last days, Valentina only knew how to count. She counted her grandchildren, the grandchildren born from the quadruplets, the ones born from the triplets. Her face was serene. She had fulfilled her duty, the heavy but magnificent task of continuing the human lineage. Valentina Vasilieva died at the age of 76. Her vast, incredibly large family gathered around her. Her death was not just the passing of one woman, but the end of an era of motherhood. Her story shows us that the endurance of the human body and the sacrifice of a mother are limitless. Valentina Vasilieva is not merely a number in a record book. Her story is a dramatic reflection of the inner suffering, resilience, and love of every mother. Through her body, she brought an entire generation into the world. Her life poses a heavy, philosophical question. Can the greatest joy, prolific childbearing, also be the greatest suffering, endless exhaustion, and loss of self? Valentina accepted her fate. She loved, she suffered, and she lived. Her story is an eternal monument reminding us of the sacred yet heavy burden of motherhood. Valentina Vasilieva's fate is just so. No one has been able to surpass her record. And perhaps no one would want to repeat such a heavy destiny. The true value of her life is not in the number of children born, but in the suffering she endured to keep them alive. Do you think this was a miracle or a curse? Write your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next dramatic story.
If you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel, like, and share with your friends. Your support is my greatest inspiration. Thank you.